All right. And here we go. Again. This will probably, I expect, be the last of my free-to-play through on Warframe. I'm going to play some missions and then do my overall opinions. And I have opinions. I will share them. But they'll still be mine. It'll probably be a shorter stream. Maybe an hour. But we have made our Boltor. And it's ready. And we will claim it. Glorious. And we will equip the Boltor. The Boltor. And we'll upgrade it a little. It does impact, so we can get a little bit of extra damage from that. Additional ammo maximum. Magazine capacity of 3%. That just doesn't seem like much. That'd be an extra 1.8 rounds. But if we have one that fits, cryo rounds, I don't think will quite fit. No, that's 2. We'll go with this for now then. I did actually play some earlier on my, good evening to whoever's joined me, on my real account. And so I may continue to play in the future on the real account. Let's get a little leveling onto our Boltor. And I had a good time. I was playing Ekron Prime.
Eliminate all Corpus threats.
I will, babe. You can count on me. You can count on me, Red. I'm reliable in this way. Already dead. I can't kill him a second time. Wow, my aim is for crap tonight. So far. Anyway. I need to kill 69. Nice. Okay.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
That is the sound of a... 1 second. It's not the sound of a follow. In fact, it's the sound of Fat Body throwing even more money my way. Good money after bad, I say. 47 months. All I can say is, it seems like the mental health professionals are not doing their job, sir. Thank you again, as always, Fat Buddy. You are too kind, sir. And I hope the rest of your weekend is going well. Where is it? Oh, seems like... ranking up the Boltor, murdering... Corpus, I think. Never was able to keep him straight. Corpus, Grenier, potato, tomato, you know. That can't be right. 900 meters away? I don't think that's correct. I am dubious about that number.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
I tell you, the Boltor in Duviri Paradox is way better than this one. Of course, this one has like one crappy mod in it. So my intent is just to play around a bit with this, the first new gun,
We've
other
got
than
robots
the one
inbound.
I bought. The first one I had to actually make. But I don't expect it'll be a long stream tonight. It'll probably be maybe an hour or so, doing a few missions, and then I'll give my final opinions on what the free-to-play model is like for Warframe. The TLDR, the core gameplay loop, is terrifically fun and entertaining. But a lot of the ancillary stuff in the game isn't great and not welcoming to new players. I will explain the greater length later. Just blow up, please. Thank you. I have solved 100 ciphers. I boosted a bunch of them. And they deserved it. Every last one of them deserved it. A little sneaky coming up from behind little bastard. Who does a thing like that? A robot. A robot. So, you know who does a thing like that? Me. I do things like that. 56 out of 69 killed. 69. Nice. Oh my god. I've become infected by the internet myself. I roll my eyes when people say that, and I'm watching the stream. Now I said it in the stream. All kinds of goodies in there. More goodies in here? Kinda looks like it. All the little snickety noises that you give. That's a thing of feedback I won't be including in my description about how the game is free to play. Those noises are very, very reaffirming. I'm calling the elevator. I'm calling it slow. That's what I'm calling it.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
There's a heavy corpse. Now. Okay, that's a little gross. But on the nose. This is not the right way. This is the right way. $145 credits out of that. I'm wealthy. I need to kill 2 more things. I need to kill 1 more thing. Hi, guys.
You have broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission.
They're not all on the run.
Extraction.
That guy didn't have time to be on the run. I'm just gonna blow some stuff up here. Grab some more looty bits. Because hey, free loot. Mission complete. I got the Boltor up to rank 7. The Boltor I had in the Deviri Paradox murdered things way better. Another example as to why the Deviri Paradox is really, really not a good
May this aid you
introduction
in the synthesis
to
of
the
many
game.
creatures.
Morphix, I own 2. I own 45 Feldiron. Let's go with Morphix. Morphix, he's Neo's friend. They hang out. Let's see. Well, that will only cost 3. We yoink this, and now we can put a 4 in there. Magazine warp, magazine capacity, sawtooth clip. Our current slash is... Why is it down? Oh, down from what it was, right. Duh. 10% damage or 15% slash. Well, my assumption is that does 29.1. That does 31.6. If I'm correct in my mathematicalness, one of those is better than the other. Not sure which, though. I'm lying, I know which one which. defense, rescue, capture, sabotage. How about a little Black Sabbath, best album ever, Sabotage. Particularly the cut Megalomania, my favorite Black Sabbath song of all.
I need you to sabotage this ship's reactor. The reactor is a complex system. Start by removing the coolant cells. My intel suggests there are rich enemy supply caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint their exact location. Search them out if you are willing to shoulder the added risk.
Do you mind, sir? I'm working here. Unprofessional. Oop. Sorry, dude. I am going to go out on the limb and say I'm probably going to fail this mission. Because I just don't feel like the bolter is doing, whoops, enough damage fast enough for me to successfully defend what I have to defend after I start the sabotage. Apparently wasn't hitting anything.
Your crowns are safe in my grasp, oh Parvos. Protect me!
Big whiner.
My desire to escape you is greater than your desire to catch me.
Wasn't expecting there to be that many of them waiting for me to say hi.
Fulfill your desire and others will follow. I follow Parvos to freedom!
I do so like when I knock the gravity right out of them. Alright, somebody's shooting at me. Moas. Alright. Let me grab the core. Corpus caches. I have no idea what those are. I had never noticed that in the upper left. Underneath the quest
The
mission.
reactor is going into stasis. Now is your chance to complete this sabotage. Use whatever you can to make sure it never works again. A coolant cell has been extracted. A coolant cell has been placed in the fuel port. The reactor must be restarted to trigger your sabotage. Defend the system until the coolant has flooded the fuel system. The enemy has destroyed a reactor pipe. You must protect them.
I'm working on it, Toots. Oh, sorry, Reb. I shouldn't call you that. Sexist and not fair. We have succeeded. Yeah, gravity clean out of him. Just a little, you know, casual mass murder. I don't hold them personally to blame for what I'm more or less forced to do to them. I mean, if they weren't shooting back, none of this would be happening. I don't have any energy. It just seems so untidy to not take care of the alarms. Another rank up for the new gun. Give me some polymer. How many mer? Give me poly of them. just, you know, more polymer. Ooh. +1 heal rate per second. All right, let's finish that one up. Voltor got 4 more ranks. What +1 heal rate per second for the Sentinel, which is like your pet. Do not imagine my stats were particularly good. Whoa, that fire accuracy. Yeah, the Voltor's not particularly accurate. At least not when I'm shooting it. We've got 5 more, huh? Well, we can drop the ammo drum. Drop in Stormbringer. To go with our cryo rounds. So now we both freeze and shock them. Shocking. That's got 4 points. What else we could flop in here? We already have Pistol Gambit. 4 points of heated charge, I suppose. Sure, no harm done. Well, not to me. To the other guys, the receiving guys, harm done. Clearly. Melee prowess. Sure. Increasing my status from 10% chance to the almost inconceivable 11.5% chance. It's so huge. Well, what's the bit? Let's throw another point into redirection and vitality, because this is the only frame we've got right now. We're fine. All right. Yeah, so these are the other frames. You can either buy them for platinum or run missions to get the 3 components, and each of the subcomponents has to be built. I have, from finishing off the Jackal, I got one of the 3 subcomponents for Rhino, the chassis. There are 2 other components I'd have to get the blueprints for to make Rhino. You make the 3 subcomponents and then you slap them together and you get the frame. Problem is they all roughly drop at the same percentage from the Jackal, which means you have to farm the Jackal, and the Jackal was no easy chore getting that done the first time. It's just substantially changed from when I originally played, and by substantially I mean a lot. And that's one of the things, spoiler, one of the things I'm going to complain about. Let's do a low-level spy mission. My vehicle's so vanilla looking, it's depressing. The one on my real account is much prettier.
Tenno, you are here to infiltrate data vaults
Hi,
and
Red.
retrieve highly sensitive enemy information.
Reb was Rebecca. Rebecca Ford? Can't remember her last name. Was one of was the community manager, I believe, and also does the voice of the woman who was just talking. I can't remember the character's name. Memory, not my strength anymore, guys. Yeah. But she is now, I believe, the game director for Warframe as a whole.
The enemy would rather destroy their data than let it get into our hands.
Nice to see the company, you know, more or less repay loyalty. That was some of the worst aiming you'll ever see. I'm proud to say. You can't see crappy aiming like that on most streams. Takes someone special to suck that much. And I'm just the special person.
The target console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
And now there's not.
Alarms have been triggered. You need to retrieve that data before the data destruction is complete.
Okay, those things are getting annoying.
You got it. The data is still intact.
I screwed it up, but no harm done. Again, for the mission, no harm done. To that heavy guy I shot in the head repeatedly, harm. Yeah, that was harm. Suffering any... What was I shooting? Since I clearly wasn't shooting him. Green means go. Doesn't mean much in the way of loot, though, can I say.
You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data. Marines inbound.
I missed. Trying to get up on the wire. was never very good in this when I knew what I was doing. Is it like X to grab on? I can't remember. It is. Ooh, freebies. I just can't say no. No, no. We have not succeeded. Or have we? Nope, that's still water. We've got to drain the water. Means I missed the magic juju. And I'm going to go back and hit it again. Alright, that's not the way. I think it is through that pipe, though. Did I miss a turn? No. That's not it. How about what's over here then? Huh. It's not what we're looking for. There wasn't anything at all over here. Maybe that was what I was missing. Alright, we still got water there. But now this one's active. Not quite there yet. We've got one more thing to open up. To lower the water the rest of the way. Is it this one again? is.
Data extracted. They won't even know it's gone.
I'm too slick. Oh, well, not quite as slick as I thought, but pretty slick. All right, that's 2. 1 to go.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
I'm focused. I'm ready. I was born ready. Not sure what I was born ready for, but pretty sure I was ready. I was born ready to poop my diapers. He's dead. That I need to scan, but I'm not going to bother with that right now.
The target console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data.
This is the one I
You are surrounded by Grineer Marines.
So we gotta wait for the yellow field to go away. Whoops, nope. Alright, it's the yellow. That appears to be gone. My memory is if I step in that, it sets off the alarm. Okay, that's a no-go. Control console's not up. I'm probably supposed to do like a wall run, but I don't remember how to wall run. For crap. So here we go. Or maybe I can just, wing it and get it done anyway, even though I don't remember how to do it, because evidently that worked. Sorta. Mostly. It mostly worked.
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no alarms. We have everything we came for. Get to extraction.
What can I say? I'm the champion of the world. Well, sadly, that's not the way they want me to go this way. That way looked more interesting. Speedy, speedy, speedy. Hey, Reb, you didn't warn me about the incoming heavy. Boltor is so called because it will fire a big bolt that will pin things to the wall. Which sounds pretty cool if you're the one shooting the gun. Victory! I got my pistol up to rank 20. Got the achieve for that. Ah, we got the Ivara Systems blueprints out of that too. Very nice. Again, that's one of the 3 components that you need to make a frame. So that was a third of a frame that dropped right there. So we got the Boltor up to 15. Kids screaming. Nothing. No addition there. Okay, well, I think I'm going to call it a relatively quick evening, but first I'm going to give the final sort of my feedback, my opinion on the free-to-play experience. First and most importantly, the gameplay, the core gameplay loop, is still terrific. The shooting and parkour, the space ninja gig, all of that stuff just works great. There's a reason the game has been successful, and that's the primary reason. They just do it really, really well. And most of the complaints that I've read from older players, while doing a little bit of reading on Reddit, is that they don't spend enough of their time with the core gameplay loop. That they keep adding additional game systems, little sort of like mini games like the Archwing and Railjack, and they're never as good as the basic core gameplay. And what players want most, from what I've read, is just more Warframe, the core gameplay loop, which, as I said, is terrific. Now, as to the free-to-play experience, as you noted, or as you may have noticed, I got one of the 3 necessary blueprints for a new frame, and I also got one from doing the Jackal. But getting new frames and new guns and blueprints to make them and stuff requires grinding. A lot of grinding. The game is very grindy, especially as you get deeper into it, and you're trying to get specific things. The grind gets more involved and longer. Now, obviously, you can get around that at least to some degree by spending a little real money for this currency here, the platinum. And that can speed things up. On my main real account, when I logged in last night, I saw I had almost 4,000 platinum, which is enough to buy 10 or 15 frames. Whole frames, not blueprints, not anything, just the whole damn frames. So if you're willing to spend some money, that will remove some or all of the grind. But the grind is sort of inherent to the game. It's what it's predicated on. And as long as the game content you're doing is fun, then a grind's not that bad a thing. I will also recommend that having a friend allows you to do more difficult content, to go deeper into the content, and also is more fun, significantly more fun. So my biggest complaints about the game are twofold. First, the new player experience. Now, keep in mind, I haven't played for, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, something like that. And I came back, and the new player experience was very rough. I did the introduction, basically the tutorial, and beat the first boss, and I think that opens up the relay so you can get from Earth to Venus, and then the second relay is Venus to Mercury. So I open up the first one, the first juncture, so I can get to the second planet, and I get an invitation, or I get a quest pop up, and I take the quest, and I go down to the planet Cetus. Well, actually, it's on Earth, I think, but it's Cetus is the area, and my memory is that it was much higher than I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not supposed to be doing that content until much later on. I got teamed up. The other 3 people finished the quest, and so I just turned around, went back, and then left. But I don't think I'm supposed to be doing that. And then it offered me more content, and I said, okay, what the hell? Deveri Paradox. And I did a little bit of that, and then called it a day. Reading up on it, the Deveri Paradox is meant to be the new player experience, the method they bring you on board. And it's terrible for that. It's awful, because you spend almost none of your time playing as a Warframe. Wrong way. Playing as a Warframe. You play almost all of your time as a guy carrying swords, just a regular guy carrying swords. It is a terrible introduction to Warframe. It's not a bad game or mini game, and the Warframe parts of it are fun. The rest of it is confusing as hell, makes no sense to anyone who's ever played the game, I would know, and is a terrible introduction. It's like the introduction to WoW being playing Guild Wars 2. Yeah, we have a little mini Guild Wars 2 experience for you to teach you how to play WoW. Makes no sense. It is a terrible onboarding. The information they give you to help you through that and through the rest of the early game is terrible. There are so many systems and notifications, and none of it is explained well. And making this problem much, much worse is the UI. The UI is garbage. Now, far too many contemporary PC games, the UI is being designed not with the PC in mind. It's being designed with a co-platform, consoles or mobile, or both. And so the design is predicated on consoles and mobile, not on the PC. And then they put in minimal effort to update and PCize the UI for the PC players. And it shows horribly in this game. The UI is garbage. You'll note I'm mousing over icons. I'm not getting a pop-up telling me what they mean. That's unforgivable UI design. That is what I mean when I complain about the UI design. If I mouse over this should tell me companion. This should tell me the loadout for gear and emotes that you can bring up. Mousing over something not giving you a pop-up is an unforgivable UI sin, and the people making those decisions should be doing something else, because it is objectively bad. A UI's entire reason for existing is the user experience, or UX. There's no way that's a good UX. On a PC, if you mouse over something, you expect pop-up text. You don't get it. Even worse is because, again, consoles and mobile games, more and more modern games, are using terrible minimalist UI like this that is completely uninformative. What do these 3 weird chevron shapes mean? Warframe, evidently, and gear. That? Well, of course, that means companion. Why? No idea. And this is indicative only of a game function, which, if you're a new player, you don't even know what it is. The simplest solution for a UI, you have to have mouse overs for any mouse user. But what's even better is not going minimalist. These don't have to be just icons. They can be icon and word. And that works for everyone. No one has to figure it out, has to puzzle it out. When I started in Deveri Paradox, there were, for creating a character, how a character is going to look, there were 3 or 4 different lines of things you could change. And each line had 3 icons. checkerboard image. I think it was like 4x4 checkerboard, 2 intersecting lines, and then a line, an arrow with in a circle, and they don't tell you what they do. You mouse over them, they don't tell. Now, I think the second one was because it's similar to the shuffle play icon I've seen on, musical equipment, stereos and stuff like that. But I don't know. I didn't bother to click it. And the third one, I think, is go back to default. But again, I don't know for sure because I didn't click it. And mousing over said nothing. And the checkerboard, well, of course, that's the color palette. The only way to figure out what those are is to click them. That is horrible user interface design. And it's shameful that a game on a PC could have such terrible UI. But it does, in so many ways, in so many places. Those are my 2 biggest frustrations. First, the onboarding experience for a new player is terrible. I didn't know how bad because the first time I played through on the game, I had friends telling me what to do, where to go, what I should be looking for. And the UI is actively hostile to a PC player. On a console, it's probably less offensive because, generally speaking, console UIs are going to be less informative, and you are going to have to be a little bit more experimental to find out what you're doing. But there's no reason for that on a PC game. Another thing, when I was talking about my experience with the friend who I played with previously, we were talking about one mission in particular, and this is about the hostility of the new player environment, our new player experience. It is what is necessary to unlock Mercury from Venus. So you go Earth and unlock to Venus, unlock to Mercury. Is you have to defeat the Jackal. And it annihilated me the couple of times I tried. So I look up videos. And the first video is exactly how I remember it from 4 years ago or whatever it was. It's a standard sort of fight. Tougher, but a standard sort of fight. And I asked my friend about it, and he says, yeah, they changed that a couple of years ago. And they took something that was simple and straightforward, and they made it difficult and don't really tell you what you're supposed to do. Again, them not telling the new player what they're supposed to do. I would say that they're probably losing about a third of their new players who make it to that point immediately quit. They run into this boss. Because if they look it up, the first video they see is the one from years ago, and it doesn't apply anymore because they changed the fight. I had to pick my way through the videos to find one that was more modern and talked about the current fight. The solution is to the fight is dumb, and I felt silly, but I didn't feel like that was an unusual mistake to make. These big rotating walls, and you have to basically move in close and move along with the walls to avoid getting hit by the walls. And what my friend pointed out is this, when you kill the Jackal, he always is going to drop one of 3 blueprints for making your next frame. What's most likely going to be your next frame, the Rhino. But you have to farm those other 2, because it's basically roughly, I think it's like 40, 20%, something like that, for the 3 parts to drop. Which means you could get it in 3 kills, or you could get it in any number of kills. The average is probably about 5 or 6, I would think, from what little I know about probability, somewhere around there. But you could easily go 8 or 10. And this is kills on a boss that they made much, much, much more difficult than it used to be. And I can't figure out the reason why. So, in short, this game has one of the most hostile new player experiences I've ever played. And that's as a guy coming back to the game. That's not even as an actual, real novice to the game. And I imagine their numbers are bad. Not as bad as PoE, which is the most actively hostile to new players game I've ever seen. But it's bad. So that combo of things should give you pause if you're considering playing. But I want to reiterate, I think the most important thing is the quality of the core gameplay loop is terrific. But you need to be aware that the new player onboarding is rough. The UI on the PC is bad. There's not a lot of information in-game to help you with these things. You'll probably have to look up stuff. And it is going to be grindy, especially if you're going to stick free to play. The deeper you go into the game, the grindier it gets. So those are my ideas, my perceptions of the game after playing it, coming back and playing. Now, I want to be clear. I'm going to stop playing the alt account here, and I'm probably going to play more, maybe even on stream, of my main account, where I've got, established frames and weapons and stuff to play, and new stuff I can level up, and plenty of currency if I want to buy a new frame. So be aware, if you're looking for a free-to-play game, the quality of the gameplay here is great, but the onboarding for a new player is rough, and the new player experience in general is rough. And it also is going to be grindy as hell. Now, it doesn't have to be a bad thing if you don't mind the grind, and a lot of players don't. Then it being grindy to progress and get new frames and weapons and the like, not necessarily a big negative. But there will be a learning curve. Overall, I'd say the game is definitely worth it, but be aware of those issues going in, that you may have to be a little aggressive in finding out the information because the game is not going to tell you. So, I think I'm going to call it here for the evening. I want to thank you guys very, very much for hanging out. Those of you who've been watching for the Warframe, I hope I haven't embarrassed myself too much. Well, my shooting embarrassed myself. I should be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Not sure what I'll be playing. Might be Guild Wars 2, might be more Warframe, might be something else. For October, obviously, it's Scary Month, and I downloaded 3 smaller, sort of scarier types of games. Not sure what I'm going to be playing or when I'm going to be playing scary games, but I'll be doing some of that. I did that last year. But in the short term, back tomorrow at the usual time. I want to thank you guys again for hanging out. I am always appreciative. Thank you very much, Fat Body. Thank you, Sethgo, very much for your input. Sethgo's an old friend from Lord of the Rings Online. He also streams. Check him out. Granted, he's on the other side of the world, so his hours may not be really well suited for you, but if so, definitely check him out. I'll be back tomorrow, I expect. Usual time. I hope the rest of your Sunday night or Monday morning, Sethgo, goes great. So have a great day today, great night tonight. Take care, and ciao for now. Good night, guys.